Resignation by Matthew Arnold. To die be given us, or attain. Fierce work it were, to do again. So pilgrims, bound for Mecca, prayĺd at burning noon. So warriors said, Scarfĺd with the cross, who watchĺd the miles of dust that wreathed their struggling files down Lydian mountains. So, when snows round Alpine summits eddying rose, the Goth, bound Rome wards. So the Hun, Crouchĺd on his saddle, when the sun went lurid down oĺer flooded plains through which the groaning Danube strains to the drear Euxine. So pray all, whom labors, self-ordained, enthrall. Because they to themselves propose on this side the all-common closer goal which, gained, may give repose. So pray they, and to stand again where they stood once, to them were pain to thread back and to renew past straits, and currents long steerĺd through. But milder natures, and more free, whom an unblamehold serenity hath freed from passions, and the state of struggle these necessitate, whom schooling of the stubborn mind hath made, or birth hath found resigned. These mourn not that their goings pay obedience to the passing day. These claim not every laughing hour for handmaid to their striding power. Each in her turn, with torch uprailed, to await their march. And when appearled, through the cold gloom, with measureled race to usher for a destined space, her own sweet errands all foregone. The too imperious traveller on. These, Fausta, ask not this. Nor thou, Timel's chafing prisoner, ask it now. We left, just 10 years since, you say, that wayside inn we left today. Our jovial host, as forth we fare, shouts greeting from his easy chair. High on a bank our leader stands, reviews and ranks his motley hands. Makes clear our goal to every eye, the Valley's western boundary. A gate swings to. Our tide hath flowed already from the silent road. The valley pastures, one by one, ere threaded, quiet in the sun. And now beyond the rude stone bridge slopes gracious up the western ridge. Its woody border, and the last of its dark upland farms, is past. Cool farms, with open-lying stores, under their burnished sycamores. All past, and through the trees we glide emerging on the green hillside. Their climbing hangs, a far-seen sign, our wavering, many-colored line. Their winds, upstreaming slowly still over the summit of the hill. And now, in front, behold outspread those upper regions we must tread. Mild hollows, and clear heathy swells. The cheerful silence of the fells. Some 2 hours'll march, with serious air, through the deep noontide heats we fare. The red grouse, springing at our sound, skims, now and then, the shining ground. No life, save his and ours, intrudes upon these breathless solitudes. O joy! Again. The farms appear. Cool shade is there, and rustic cheer. There springs the brook will guide us down, bright comrade, to the noisy town. Lingering, we follow down. We gain the town, the highway, and the plain. And many a mile of dusty way, parkled and road worn, we made that day. But, Fausta, I remember well that, as the balmy darkness fell, we baffled our hands, with speechless glee, that night, in the wide glimmering sea. Once more we tread this selfsame road, Fausta, which 10 years since we trod. Alone we tread it, you and I, ghosts of that boisterous company. Here, where the brook shines, near its head, in its clear, shallow, turf-fringled bed. Here, whence the eye first sees, far down, coupled with faint smoke, the noisy town. Here sit we, and again unroll, though slowly, the familiar whole. The solemn wastes of heathy hill sleep in the July sunshine still. The selfsame shadows now, as then, play through this grassy upland glen. The loose dark stones on the greenway lie strewn, it seems, where then they lay. On this mild bank above the stream, you crush them, the blue gentians gleam. Still this wild brook, the rushes cool, the sailing foam, the shining pool. These are not changled. And we, you say, are scarce more changled, in truth, than they. The gypsies, whom we met below, they too have long roamed to and fro. They ramble, leaving, where they pass, their fragments on the cumbrelled grass. And often to some kindly place, chance guides the migratory race where, though long wanderings intervene, they recognize a former scene. The dingy tents are pitched. The fires give to the wind their wavering spires. In dark knots crouch round the wild flame their children, as when first they came. They see their shackled beasts again move, browsing, up the grey-walled lane. Signs are not wanting, which might raise the ghosts in them of former days. Signs are not wanting, if they would. Suggestions to disquietude. For them, for all, Timel's busy touch, while it mends little, troubles much. Their joints grow stiffer, but the year runs his old round of dubious cheer. Chilly they grow. Yet winds in March, still, sharp as ever, freeze and parch. They must live still. And yet, God knows, crowded and keen the country grows. It seems as if, in their decay, the law grew stronger every day. So might they reason. So compare, Fausta, times past with times that are. But no. They rubbled through yesterday in their hereditary way, and they will rub through, if they can, tomorrow on the selfsame plan. till death arrives to supersede, for them, vicissitude and need. The poet, to whose mighty heart heaven doth a quicker pulse impart, subdues that energy to scan not his own course, but that of man. Though he move mountains, though his day be passed on the proud heights of sway, though he hath loosed 1,000 chains, though he hath borne immortal pains, action and suffering though he know, he hath not lived, if he lives so. He sees, in some great historied land, a ruler of the people stand, sees his strong thought in fiery flood roll. Through the heaving multitude, exults, yet for no momentary space envies the all-regarded place. Beautiful eyes meet his, and he bears to admire uncravingly. They pass, he, mingled with the crowd, is in their far-off triumphs proud. From some high station he looks down, at sunset, on a populous town, surveys each happy group that fleets, toil-ended, through the shining streets, each with some errand of its own, and does not say, I am alone. He sees the gentle stir of birth when morning purifies the earth. He leans upon a gate, and sees the pastures, and the quiet trees. Low woody hill, with gracious bound, folds the still valley almost round. The cuckoo, loud on some high lawn, is enthralled from the depth of dawn. In the hedge straggling to the stream, pale, dew-drenched, half-shut roses gleam. But where the further side slopes down he sees the drowsy new wakeled clown in his white quaint embroidered frock make, whistling, towards his mist-wreathed flock. Slowly, behind the heavy tread, the wet flowered grass heaves up its head. Leaned on his gate, he gazes. Tears are in his eyes, and in his ears the murmur of 1,000 years. Before him he sees life unroll, a placid and continuous whole. That general life, which does not cease, whose secret is not joy, but peace. That life, whose dumb wish is not missled if birth proceeds, if things subsist. The life of plants, and stones, and rain. The life he craves. If not in vain fate gave, what chance shall not control his sad lucidity of soul? You listen. But that wandering smile, Fausta, betrays you cold the while. Your eaves pursue the bells of foam watchĺd, eddying, from this bank, their home. Those gypsies, so your thoughts I scan, are less, the poet more, than man. They feel not, though they move and see, deeply the poet feels, but he breathes, when he will, a mortal air, where Orpheus and where Homer are. In the dale's life, whose iron round hems us all in, he is not bound. He escapes thence, but we abide. Not deep the poet sees, but wide. The world in which we live and move outlasts aversion, outlasts love, outlasts each effort, interest, hope, remorse, grief, joy, and were the scope of these affections wider made, man still would see, and see dismaylt, beyond his passionel's widest range far regions of eternal change. Nay, and since death, which wipes out man, finds him with many an unsolved plan, with much unknown, and much untried, wonder not dead, and thirst not dried, still gazing on the ever full eternal mundane spectacle. This world in which we draw our breath, in some sense, Fausta, outlasts death. Blame thou not therefore him, who dares judge vain beforehand human cares. Whose natural insight can discern what through experience others learn. Who needs not love and power, to know love transient, power and unreal show. Who treads at ease life's uncheerled ways. Him blame not, Fausta, rather praise. Rather thyself for some aim pray nobler than this to fill the day. Rather, that heart, which burns in thee, ask, not to amuse, but to set free. B. Passionate hopes not ill resigned for quiet, and a fearless mind. And though fate grudge to thee and me the poetel's rapt security, yet they, believe me, who await no gifts from chance, have conquered fate. They, winning room to see and hear, and to menel's business not too near. Through clouds of individual strife draw homewards to the general life. Like leaves by suns not yet uncurled. To the wise, foolish. To the world, weak. Yet not weak, I might reply, not foolish. Fausta, in his eye, to whom each moment in its race, crowd as we will its neutral space, is but a quiet watershed whence, equally, the seas of life and death are fed. Enough, we live, and if a life, with large results so little rife, though bearable, seen hardly worth this pomp of worlds, this pain of birth. Yet, Fausta, the mute turf we tread, the solemn hills around us spread, this stream that falls incessantly, the strange scrawled rocks, the lonely sky, if I might lend their life a voice, seem to bear rather than rejoice. And even could the intemperate prayerman iterates, while these forbear, for movement, for an ampler sphere, pierce Fatel's impenetrable ear. Not milder is the general lot because our spirits have forgot, in actionel's dizzying eddy world, the something that infects the world.